Hi, my name is Liesl, and I am the buyer for the children's department at the Boulder Bookstore. We've actually had a change of scenery, because we're actually in the kids' room right now, which is sort of a delight. Instead of having essays behind us, we actually have kids' books. I was taking a trip down memory lane the other day as I was working and putting away the books, and I thought it might be fun to tell you about some of the books that we used to read to my kids when they were little. So I thought I'd start with my son, Dane. He's 19 now, and I'll just tell you about some of his favorite books. We liked to read Sandra Boynton. Actually, I think I liked to read Sandra Boynton more than he liked Sandra Boynton per se, because he was very small. Anyway, Hippos Go Berserk was one of my favorite ones to read. It's a counting book, and all the hippos show up, and it's all great rhyming, and then they go away in the opposite order. It's fantastic. I do believe that Dane's favorite book to have read to him was The Sheep in a Jeep. This is a book by Nancy Shaw. It's a great book about some sheep in a Jeep, and they crash, and the sheep sweep the heap, and they weep, and it's just a delightful book to read and rhyme. And Dane actually called Jeeps beep beeps for a long time because that's how the book starts. So, great book for reading out loud to your young kids. As he got older, we did get into picture books, and a friend of mine had gone to England and brought this one back to us. This is before it was available here in the United States. Room on the Broom by Julia Donaldson. We liked to read this because it was a witch, again with lots of rhyming, lots of fun things happening in it. But the witch, she's looking for some chips, and there's a dragon, and the broom, she creates all this room on the broom for all the animals. Tons of fun to read. We liked that one. And that sort of opened us up to another favorite book, The GRUFFALO! Again, this is by Julia Donaldson. Again, it's sort of a long narrative. Lots of things happen in it, but basically a little mouse is walking through the woods, and he encounters creatures who want to eat him along the way. So he creates this character called the GRUFFALO. He has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. Dane liked it so much he decided to dress like it for Halloween when he was about 4, hence the hood thing. We had a lot of fun with this one. I highly recommend this one if you haven't discovered it. In between picture books and chapter books, he did discover Calvin and Hobbes. I have an old ratty collection in my library that I've kept since I was a kid. And he discovered those, and we spent a lot of rainy afternoons poring over Calvin and the adventures of both Calvin and Hobbes. And I also think it struck his funny bone a little bit, because that explains some of his other choices as he was growing up. We've had a costume change, because Dane's favorite book in middle school, his favorite series of all time, in fact it still is, was Skullduggery Pleasant, which is about a Natalie-dressed wizard, skeleton, detective, and his sidekick Stephanie, who are out fighting good versus evil. Well, they're fighting the evil. They are the good, theoretically. He's dead, she's still in high school, but together they're going to save the world, is the tagline for the book. It's by an author, an Irish author named Landy. He used to be a screenwriter, so he has really great conversations, great dialogue, great action sequences. In fact, Dane likes it so much that I think that he will be delighted to know that this year, the 13th book will be out. And so he's in Germany right now, but I think I'm going to send this to him if I can, or when he comes home I'm going to give that to him. He loves this book. In fact, again, the Halloween costume. As he was growing up and becoming older, he discovered Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. The favorite one of his was Good Omens. This is again, good and evil, but you don't know which is which. It's 2 angels, well, 1 angel and 1 devil trying to prevent the end of the world because they're enjoying their life on Earth very much. It's a delightful book. It's been around for a long time. If you have a kid with a funny bone, there it is. Which also, Dane went through a phase of reading Christian satire. So Christopher Moore's Lamb, which is the Gospel According to Biff, Christ's childhood friend. I think that pretty much says it. Plus you can walk around looking nattily dressed with a quasi-Bible in front of you. It is a satirization of Christ's life before he becomes Christ, actually. And so I guess it's just Jesus' life. Anyway, recommend it, Lamb. Super fun, super funny. Don't give it to your devout friends, though. Right now, he is 19, so he has moved on into some deeper fantasy. He recommends this series, The Shadow of What Was Lost, by James Islington. I can't say his name for some reason. It's, you know, heavy world building, glossaries, maps, lots of politics. So if you're a fan of the George R.R. Martins or Patrick Rothfuss, it's really great. It's going to be right up your alley. I did send him the third one in Germany, so he was delighted about that. Sadly, he's just finished it, and he has no way of getting home yet. Anyway, that's my son, Dane. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.